stunning mountains and meadows of Aspen for our 14th annual Aspen Security Forum. We are so happy to be here with all of you. We are all ready to immerse ourselves in this beautiful place for the next 3 days, to step back a little bit and to think bigger and to exercise our imaginations. But we're meeting here at a pretty dangerous time for foreign policy, when war between great powers seems dangerously real and possible. In fact, great powers are acting badly, and by that I mean really Russia and China. So any misstep in our foreign policy could be catastrophic. I recently reread a wonderful book by Marc Bloch, who was a French resistance fighter, and who talks about how the Maginot Line failed because the German Nazi invading armies just circumvented it. And he blames the French senior leadership and says they had a lack of imagination. They were incapable of thinking in terms of a new war. Well, in the next few days, we want to ensure that our children don't accuse us of a similar failure of imagination. Our mission for this Aspen Security Forum is to look further out, over the horizon, not to the next summit meeting, not to the next big meeting in Washington, not even to the next press cycle. You all in the press know who you are. But at what's coming further down the pike, what danger looms around the corner, what opportunities loom around the corner that we're not looking at carefully enough. We are incredibly lucky this year. We are going to hear from very distinguished senior US government officials, Secretaries Mayorkas and Blinken, Linda Thomas Greenfield, Jake Sullivan, Bill Burns, and we have a lot of Republican representation as well, Secretaries Mark Esper, Mike Pompeo, and Condi Rice, and many others. So we are making this a truly bipartisan, thoughtful forum. We're also very proud, and our team has all collectively been working hard on this. We want to make the Aspen Security Forum more international. We want the rest of the world to get into the conversation. So we're particularly proud to have with us senior leaders from Kenya. You're about to hear from the Kenyan National Security Advisor, Monica Juma. We're going to hear from former Israeli Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni, senior leaders from the UK, from Canada, from France, China, NATO, Afghanistan, and many others. An important through line of all these conversations that you'll hear in the next few days is technology. We're really at a hinge point in history where the advance of technologies is moving so much faster than what our governments can digest or regulate in any meaningful way. And so we're also going to hear from CEOs, entrepreneurs, and many others who are reshaping how we connect, how we govern, and how we fight. But this is essential. We're not just looking at the dark side, the downside scenario, avoiding the next Maginot Line. That's not what you do in Aspen. This is a positive, optimistic place. And so we're going to here refocus and reimagine how to create a more positive world. We're going to think through how, not just how Ukraine can get through the next 6 months of the war, but how to imagine a prosperous, democratic Ukraine going forward. How the US and China can de-escalate their conflict and maybe cooperate on certain things, even amidst their competition. How the world can responsibly develop and harness artificial intelligence and other technologies, not to wage war, but towards spectacular improvements in health, education, and well-being. The great American optimist, Walt Whitman, captured the spirit that we're trying to channel here in his homage to the American West, which he called Song of the Open Road. We encouraged all of us to loosen ourselves of our limits and imaginary lines. This is the mission for all of us the next few days, and not just those here on stage. So I ask all of you here, in the sessions, in your breakouts, in your meetings, your meals, to use the backdrop of these magnificent Rocky Mountains to envision and create an optimistic future at the world that we can and will build together. Thank you. So I'd love to thank everyone who's here tonight, the speakers, the journalists, the staffers, all of you who are coming and participating in these important conversations. In particular, the amazing Aspen Institute team, Dan Porterfield, Margot Pritzker, all of the teams that help us from comms, from legal, and everything else they're doing. Our media partners, the NBC and the Financial Times, and most importantly, none of this is amazing, but this entire conference, and another one that we run after it, gets put together by 5 people. So I would like our team to stand, please. Our director, Neve King, our deputy director, Leah Batunis, Deb Cunningham, Emily Lawrence, Chris Herman, Anna Klingensmith. They're working these issues all year long. And we have our Scowcraft Fellows and our interns helping for the summer, and a lot of amazing volunteers here at the Aspen Institute helping us just for this. Thank you all. Thank you very much. I'm now going to turn it over to Joe Nye, our wonderful co-chair, who we're very, very blessed and lucky to have, who was actually the original innovator of the Aspen Strategy Group and made this all possible. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Anja. Thanks, Anja, and it's a pleasure for me to add a welcome to all of you. Let me recall, in fact, the early days when the Aspen Institute sponsored the Aspen Strategy Group, which was 40 years ago. And while we're sometimes gloomy about the world today, it's worth remembering that at that time, the American polity was almost as politicized as it is now. And there was deep divisions over national security. And there was, with the election of the Reagan administration, feeling that there was a new Cold War, that we're starting up another Cold War. So it was a period of great tension and great differences over how we should respond to it. What's interesting was the idea that if we got people out of Washington and got them up into the Aspen Mountains, perhaps the coolness of Aspen, both literally and figuratively, would lead to better quality discussions. And I think that's proven to be the case. So as we pursue sometimes heated subjects over the next few days, look up to the mountains from which cometh our strength every once in a while. In any case, we invite you to a fantastic set of panels, but I want to do some thank yous before Anja gave a lot of thank yous already, but it's also an enterprise. The Security Forum is an enterprise which requires and benefits from a large number of donors and helpers. And there are so many that I'm going to have to read them out so I don't forget any. But they include Google, MasterCard, McKinsey, Microsoft, MITRE, PayPal, the Rockefeller Foundation, United Launch Alliance, USA Rare Earth, USIT, and the Walton Family Foundation, and as well as Beacon Global Strategies and Intel. We're also sharing tonight's opening program with a collaboration with the Hearst Lecture Series, which is made possible by Bob and Soledad Hearst. But before I sit down and get on with the main substance of the evening, I just want to say that you will find among you this year's group of rising leaders. And I hope if you see somebody who has that label, whether this year, which is the 3rd year of the Rising Leaders, or some of the alumni who are back from other years, talk to them. This is the next generation, and we're going to need them. So in any case, welcome to you all, and may you continue the tradition of looking to the mountains and having a great conversation at Aspen. And with that, Anja, you'll introduce the first panel.
Thank you, Joe. And without further ado, we're going to get started, and we are very lucky to have with us tonight the man